Hey guys, it's Peter Austin Missouri, and today we're going to be going down 5 years since Valorant has been released. Let's go down memory lane. I don't think I heard like the initial hype. I think it was more like randomly people were just talking about getting a free beta key, and I mean I love free things, so like had to hop on that. And it was a FPS game, wanted to just try it out. I played for like 4 days straight, and I went back to CS and I was horrendous. I was like, I'm just gonna switch over to Valorant because all my friends were playing it. I was like, I want to spend time with them and like just enjoy my moment. Before 100 Thieves, my first salary team was Immortals, but before that, I played on a pug team, like pickup team, with Shanks, Marv, Konpeki, and Poised. Got to meet them like even more. Mainly Poised. I didn't really know the guy too well, but I already knew Shanks and Marv and Konpeki from CS. It was only like 2 weeks we played together. Like we did a couple of days of practice, and then Immortals hit me up for a trial. They let me leave after 3 months, and then I joined 100 Thieves on October 5th was the official announcement, but we were already practicing since mid-September. Yeah, I think it was like the first couple of times I went to LA to play for 100 Thieves and in the compound. So it was definitely interesting because I was doing school at the same time. So like I'd have to show up at like 6 a.m. here. Like let's say it starts at like 9, and I'm here at 6 a.m. I think playing in First Strike, again, we were definitely getting a bit nervous if I recall, especially our first game. But then after that, it was against T1. We were down like a lot in Haven. But eventually we came back and then we played Sen, and then to end it off, we played TSM. I mean, looking back, those comps we were running on like Split were horrendous. Yeah, we ran triple duelist, and Raze, I think, or Hiko played Raze. So like, obviously that would not fly in today's standards, but alas, you know, we pulled out the dub. I remember the second we won the first map, we knew we were gonna win the whole BO5 because that was like their map. I've watched this video countless times. Actually, I've watched every single content video. Don't peek. I remember that was good. I remember after every game, so it was in online, I would love to spoil my friends because like there's like I think a 2-minute delay in the VOD or something, or a minute delay because it's online, and I would instantly after winning just go into Discord and just spoil my friends that we won the game. And at the time we were winning a good amount, so it was just like funny. Let's go into the next year of 2021 and see how that played out for me. Yeah, looking back, I felt like we were pretty good and we were like peaking at the right time. We played Ambox first, and it was like a convincing win, especially knowing how insane Ye was. Ye was like really good at that time as well, but we didn't know like, you know, the level. Yeah. And then we played next, I believe, Sentinels, and then we played Envy. And Sentinels and Envy were on the same day, so it was a bit unfortunate. I remember like we played a BO3 against Sen, and we lost. I look back and think like, damn, if only I made it to Iceland. And it's like, I mean, I don't want to say like we would have gone like top 2 or top 4, but like an NA team making an international that's like good, especially early on in the game, was just like bound to do good. And even now, like if you make an international and you're like an NA team, you usually do good. I remember watching Iceland and thinking like, I hope an NA team wins. I want NA to be good, because you didn't know like which regions were actually better or you know good, and like who's like on top, and definitely had a good amount of suspense. And then seeing Sentinels win was definitely bittersweet. Had to, you know, bounce back and make the next one, which boom, Masters Berlin we end up making. I think I turned 18 like 2 months before Berlin. It just feels like time flew by so fast. I like, oh, you're going to Berlin. All right, sounds good. I'll be there. I'll see you there. Like, say less. I remember I booked business and I was like, fuck, I'm flying business. Like this was insane. I don't know, when you get there, we just start practicing and then like just resuming the norm, but in Berlin. And I think if there was a crowd, I definitely would have like felt way more intensity, but sadly there wasn't for my first international. So it felt like my entire career, it was never like a big jump. You go from playing these like top teams online, and like it matters obviously, but it's online, and then you play these top teams in a LAN crowd, in a LAN stage but no crowd. So like felt like there was always like a level, and seeing that like Sen won the previous one, I was definitely feeling really confident. My first international opponent was Havon Liberty. I remember all their players, and I still try to follow, you know, some of their careers, especially like Liazi or like Xion. But yeah, that team was definitely memorable, and I always wish them the best. The next opponent was Gambit. Definitely the comeback on Icebox. I think we were down 10-3, or maybe 11-3 actually. We lost Pistol, and then second round, I remember Hiko making the call to save on the second round rather than forcing. We ended up mounting a comeback, and Spencer does an insane clutch to end the game. That was only map 2. We still had map 3 to go, and it was split. But with that momentum, I remember drinking a Red Bull and feeling energized, and yeah, the rest is history. I think I got like 10 first bloods. Was going insane on Jet Split. Jet Split. it isn't even my moment, but definitely Spencer's clutch. That has to be like the iconic moment that most people remember, him playing around yellow there. Yeah, the joke at the time was if me and Spencer, for some reason or somehow in a clutch, we will always win it. But it was pretty rare because I was first dead and he's last alive. So it's like the scenario has to be like I somehow entered the bomb site and everyone else died, which makes no sense. That was our joke, and my favorite moment is his moment. And then we ended up going to playoffs and playing Ascend. I think my biggest what if moments on that, we still come back and, you know, map 3, we had an insane clutch and showed a lot of resilience. My biggest what if was this 1v5 I almost hit on Breeze B site. I was envisioned like, fuck, if I won that 1v5 and then we came back, like people would have said like that was because of my 1v5, but it didn't matter in the end and we still ended up winning. But I was like, it could have been an insane Reyna 1v5, ult, everything. It was like a pretty good round. Our top 4 game to go to grand finals was against Envy, and at the time it was like a weird situation where we needed an NA team to win or we needed to place higher than Envy to make champs, and they ended up beating us for a champ spot and grand finals. It's like 2 like gut-wrenching punches to the stomach. Pretty sad. I think we didn't make it to champs through points, so we had to play through a spot, and we were one of the favorites, us and X at the time. After Berlin, we ended up making a roster move for Josh Steele, and then we got Aaron Boy going into LCQ. Definitely interesting vibes, I'll say. We were excited to play on LAN and then became online. Yeah, I think if it was on LAN, we probably would have had a better chance. Obviously, Rise and C9 were on crazy heaters. Yeah, they ended up canceling the event due to COVID, and it was a LAN tournament, and then ended up being online. Yeah, going into 2022, after the stage 1 split finished, definitely felt like I was playing my worst, and especially with like, I was feeling like my wrist was definitely getting a little bit worse at the time, and lower back, so I ended up like also mentally transitioning a lot to like taking care of myself a lot more, just so I can have a longer career. Garrus came in and he did a lot, and he listened to my input a good amount, I would say. Like, I wanted to play with Derek. Derek was insane, especially like at Rise, he was incredible. And then I wanted to play with Sean. Then we had Will and then Stellar come in. Obviously, I knew Beaton from CS and I knew him the entire time. So again, just like an easy vouch. And then Will, again, one of my best friends. So, and he played with Sean at the time, and we wanted some like chemistry and like a guy who could play off my energy. So again, just worked out well. And we got Mike's and Garrus as coaches and DDK as a general manager. We did like interviews. I think he interviewed all 5 players that were already on the roster. He just like asked me like what role I see myself playing. And then I just told him like full flex, and he like agreed. And he's like, yeah, you should probably go down that route. And then we hit the ground running. It was definitely rocky at the start, but eventually we ended up playing for Copenhagen qualifiers. So let's get into stage 2. Yeah, going from a roster full of experience to a roster with hunger to prove, and everyone just wants to win and like get their name out there. Definitely a different feeling, because at that point I was the most experienced player, but like definitely wasn't the most experienced like in general, like in life and like the game. I think Beaton definitely cleared me, and same with Derek. So it was just like still a lot to learn, especially from Beaton. Definitely took a lot of aspects from him. Yeah, we ended up playing open qualifier number 1 for stage 2, and this is to make it a Copenhagen. And at the time, I think we lost to TSM, and they were like pretty good. And it was definitely demoralizing losing to the team back to back, because then that just means they're better than you. Like, you lost 2 BO3s to them, and then we had to go through open qualifier number 2. Definitely a lot of nerves, because you know it's do or die, and you have to play so many games in one day that if you mess up at all, it's like bad. It's like really bad. We ended up making it, beating a crew. I remember the last game was like a 13-1 on Breeze. We were feeling really confident, and then we ended up playing group stages for stage 2 for Copenhagen, and we finally got our revenge against Guard. Very silly game, but meant a lot to us, because at the time Guard was just coming back from Reykjavik, and they were one of the best teams. And yeah, looking back, like, you know, that core ends up being the G2 core now. I don't remember too much of the rest of the group stage. Like, I've watched the games back, like, you know, the XSET one where we beat them because they were also a really good team and really hot with Cryo and Zekin farming. And then we end up going to playoffs, and then I think we beat FaZe, and then we end up losing to XSET, and then we lose to FaZe again. And we had a small rivalry with FaZe after that. I feel like we wanted to like beat them, and we'll get our revenge at the end, don't worry. I don't know, we definitely didn't think we were the best team, but we thought we were the, I don't know, the hungriest, I guess you could say. That sounds cringy. Like, yeah, we had the drive, we had the vibes. We were just the power of friendship. I know it sounds corny and cringy, but fuck, we were gonna win. And we played every game with our heart on our sleeves. I think the first game was against NRG. We ended up beating them 2-1. It was close. I remember Sean bailed us out on Ascent, especially the last round. He had an insane A-side hold. whenever I see like Sean have a highlight, it just like warmed my heart so much. And then him doing that on that like last map on Ascend, just wow, I was ecstatic. I remember the neon clip. You're gonna show me that one? I already know it. Don't worry. Boom, boom, boom.
Asuna still on top. He was just waiting for them to drop right down. Asuna with 4. The 5th just around the corner. Give it to him.
Yeah, whenever I watch that neon clip, the one takeaway I have is wow, the gun pull-out speed for the slide is so slow at the end. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just crazy because it's against Shroud. I can't lie. That it's just like Shroud played me in a match in 2022, a year before franchising. I would say that like the first 2 years were definitely like its own era, and then when franchising started, it's like a new era. But yeah, just definitely a memorable game. Derek clutches it up a lot and just like insane. The Haven game, I got another ace. It was an eco ace, but it was with the Phantom. We were up 10-4, and then we were just like, oh, it's getting kind of close. It's getting kind of close. But then Derek hits some insane shots to end it off. He like drops out of hell and hits a nasty flick. Either way, it was just like nice to win that game. But we knew C9 was the harder opponent after that. Luckily, my team just had my back. Me and Nathan both played bad, I remember, especially on Fracture. We just went like -15. The only reason I remember that is just because like I think we like joked about it after. Maybe it was the first map or second map, but yeah. The next game was against FaZe, BO5, and we were no way we were gonna lose that game, I promise you. And we ended up like 13-10, 13-7, 13-4, just absolutely destroying them. Like I said, there was no way we were gonna lose that game, and after that, job was done in our eyes. Yeah, going into the guard game, we definitely felt like we were the underdog. We 3-0'd them, but like the game felt like, I don't know how to describe it. It just felt like there was, after like the first 5 rounds, we knew we were gonna win. Because like it's insane to think that you know you're gonna win the series that early on, unless like something drastic changes. Like obviously guard can just like turn up and show up, but it just felt like we knew we were gonna win, and we were just playing with so much energy and so much hype that like there was no shot we were gonna let this chance go away. But I remember just like jumping up, being so happy, excited, and just like screaming because like I said, it just meant so much for my teammates and me. But like I just wanted to do them right and like give them a good memory to remember. Because like fuck, that run was just like, I always name it as like one of the best things that ever happened. And then we end up going to Istanbul. We fly there. And we get COVID. We end up getting COVID 2 days after. Derek starts coughing the first day. We do scrims, right? Derek's like playing kind of bad, which is like Derek at the time, by the way, was on a heater. Like he's insane. Like if he's not going like +10, something's off of him. We play Fnatic. We beat them from the hotel room. Insane series, 2-1. And then we play DRX. And I'll be honest, I felt like I could have played so much better in that series. If we beat them on Breeze, we could have maybe won the game. But we ended up, they were definitely the better team on Fracture, and they like stomped us. Breeze, we should have definitely closed out. There were a lot of sad moments. And then we ended up playing Fnatic again in the lower bracket, and they get the better of us, which was very sad looking back. And our stay was pretty short, but we ended up spending a day exploring Istanbul, or 2 days. I think it was just like a day exploring everything, and then a day like chilling in the hotel and doing stuff together. And definitely like a memory that will always live with me, and hopefully, you know, everyone else. And I'm just happy like we got to do that. Obviously it's like losing Will, because like I said, he's my best friend. But we got Matt, who's now about to be like one of my longest teammates. Definitely felt like the making of a super team in my eyes. Like I was like, wow, everyone on our team is just insane. We have an insane hopper, insane riflers, and we have a amazing caller, and like our coach Mike is insane. So I was like on duelist, and then Matt was playing chamber most maps, and we were just like destroying teams, and then we end up winning Red Bull. I joke about the last map, Icebox, because I played Fade, and I tell Tony like, yo, my Fade's insane. But Fade at that time was absolutely broken. We ended up being C9, which was also another super team, which again did not live up well either. So both teams that played Red Bull there just did not have a good 2023 year. So going into 2023, I think the biggest thing was moving to LA. I had to transition with that, leaving family, and then we went to kickoff. It was pretty early on. Super excited to play EDG, especially because like, I don't know, just playing a Chinese team, like they always get so much hype in league, so it's like they gotta be good in a different Riot game, you know? My team bailed us out on Pearl, especially Beaton. He had an insane BO3, and then we ended up closing it out, and the vibes were unreal. We were just giving it our all, and I'm just glad we won that game. And then our next opponent was Foot. We ended up winning 2-1 as well. Yeah, I remember I had a nice clutch on Icebox. I ended the game for Haven on KO really nicely. It was like a 1v2, but it was a very like chaotic 1v2. It was like we were up 4v2, and then 3 of us died, and then I ended up 1v2ing.
Obviously winning that 2-1, and then go to Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic, and they snapped back to reality. They absolutely destroy us. If you watch how we lose the last round, it was very sad. We ended up getting like shorty by Durka, and it was just like, damn, we lost a thrifty from a comeback, and we were like coming back from like a 12-5 or like 12-6. Yeah, if we ended up winning like a round or two, like let's say we had an 8-4 attack half, or sorry, like we got 4 rounds, I think we would have came back that map and it would be like a different outlook. But like it just felt like we never had a chance in that game, never gave ourselves a chance, and we were like pretty like defeated. Yeah, then I was locking, and it was just a insane experience. Also just like seeing the city, going on to then VCT Americas 2023.
First year.
First year of franchising. We're in LA now, and regular season games are kicking off. The moments that really stand out to me is Sean's clutch against Lev. It was an insane match point, map 3 clutch. He ends up like 1v3ing, 1v4ing. And it's like the caster was also insane. He's got a shorty, and then boom, boom. Nade shot raging at Sean on Ascent against Sen. Why is he jumping around? And then obviously the big moment, MIBR. That was definitely the highlight of the year. I'll say that. Changed the entire trajectory of like 100 Thieves, EG, so much of like people's careers, just us losing that game. Before the LCQ run, I was definitely feeling really stressed out. Like I don't know what was going on in my life, but like I was just insanely stressed. And then we ended up losing to Sen in LCQ. Obviously we had the Euro versus Euro, and at the time Euro was still the same as he is nowadays, but people didn't think he was that good. And I was hard vouching for Yoru, and I wanted to play it. I think Tyson was doing the same thing, and lo and behold, we both run Yoru. Oh, I remember this, my ace against C9. So I don't remember my own moments.
Asuna is taken over.
Ooh, the movement.
Is Rooney gonna let him?
Yeah. One thing I've noticed is I don't really remember my own moments that well. I feel like I've glossed over so many moments now I'm thinking about it, but like I remember what others do a lot more, because it just gives me so much more joy. Like seeing like Sean, Clutch, Will do something, Matt, Beaton, all my teammates like do something like memorable. I'll remember that because like it's like, wow, I was there for their moment. For 2024, we had 2 roster moves and then one new addition. The new addition was Tony. Insane coach so far. I still work with him. Boostio, insane IGL as well. Coming from an EG champs win, so you know they have a lot of pedigree and a lot of confidence in themselves. So going into kickoff for 2024, we ended up losing to Lev and Sen. Honestly, I only remember the Icebox Lev game and the Sen game. I played them so much that they all feel like a blur at this point. Just like somehow it's a loss. I mean, the vibes were good going into the tournament, everything. We wanted to win, but like we knew like we still weren't there. Like there was a lot of things missing from the team. We had a lot of things to work on, improve, but we lost those 2 games, and the running joke at the time was we haven't won a game in 10 months, which I'll put blame on the Valorant schedule, but it is also on us to win games. So then going into stage 1, yeah, we had to play stage 1 with a lot of passion, and we wanted to win. You know, we played Sen first, we lose. Very unfortunate. We play Sen again and lose. And then we end up, I believe, playing G2 next, and that was our first win. I remember we were so happy after that game. G2, we didn't think they were that insane of a team. Looking back, they are insane, but we just thought it was like, oh, we're playing an NA team, we gotta win this game. Like we are better than them, we are gonna destroy them. Yeah, we just played with that kind of like confidence and passion, and we ended up winning bind and split 2-0, and that kind of just started our momentum. It like broke the little joke we had. We got all our confidence back. We felt like new people, really.
What was your most memorable moment from stage 1?
You know, it's crazy, just like winning. When you win the game and you take off your headset and you look at your teammates and we're all just happy jumping around, it's like, fuck, that is the moment that you remember. I thought we were gonna win the map after this.
Showstopper ready now for Asuna, but King just picked off Boostio. Difficult now.
I ended up thinking here, oh, should I use Rocket? And I was like, ah, fuck it.
21 HP left against Alphonse.
Or let's talk about Shanghai.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys placed top 4. What was your favorite moment at the tournament?
Traveling to Shanghai, insane city, insane skyline, and being there with my girlfriend and the team, just incredible, really. That was definitely my favorite moment, like just out of the game. But in game, I would say the 1v4 against Paper X. Like I think I'll always pick that as like the moment, because that's like an insane clutch against an insane team. Map 3, Icebox, you know, everything's on the line, lower bracket. Like there's no better moment. Yeah, I remember. Don't worry. And then I picked one of them crossing mid.
Forsaken into by both so dangerously low. The swing out, and Asuna finds the first.
That's huge. Makes this so much more doable. Asuna,
Potential gives him a decent timing here.
only the wingman to work with, though.
0 point early to try to check. Nothing spotted.
then they line up.
Asuna creeping his way forward here into the side. Forsaken, spotting him out, has to tuck back. They reswing, they line up! Asuna collects them both!
Willing to try to flood and
I
take
thought
the
we were
site
gonna
hit
fucking farm.
on, or
after
they
the
want to
first-
try to play for retake, or Woot's just going to absolutely obliterate Bang. Now they go. They've invested the Nightfall in exchange. Woot looking for a target. He's not going to find a single thing.
And there's no follow-up with this exchange, but the Thrash is way too early as well.
And Woot's gone undetected. Can he strike terror into the hearts of 100 Thieves once more? Now they've got the Orb of Strike they're going to have to deal with as the pick goes down. They've been able to find a little pocket, just enough safety as Asuna gets 3. Patek and Benji Fishy have to hold the line. The spike is out of reach. Asuna with 4. Can he get the ace? Yes, yes he can.
I think that ace is definitely also one of my favorite moments, but I feel like, I don't know if people remember it. I don't know why, but that was insane. And I remember feeling like, fuck, we are going to absolutely farm and win. We ended up choking that map. We could have definitely won map 1, and then map 2, like, we were going to lose no matter what. But then we could have gone to map 3 and maybe won. You know, we had a lot of like just upsets. I feel like that we just like lost games that we shouldn't, like Fury and Loud. And then, you know, luckily we still make it to playoffs. And then we end up playing Crew. And that was one of the saddest games ever. Can't lie. I think I always say that that's like, IMIBR sucks, but at least we were bad. Crew, when we lost, it's like we were good and we lost. It's like, feels different, and it was for champs. I can't say that about most times I lose, where like, oh, we were definitely good and we should have made it. No discredit to them. It's just like, felt like we had a good year, top 4, everything. We won stage 1, and then we still don't even make champs at the end of the year. And I only make 1 international, and it's like, and it just felt, you know, soul sucking. With 2024 wrapped up, we didn't play any more off-season tournaments, I don't think. And then Sean ended up leaving for Sentinels. And then we had to look for a replacement, and we picked up Xander for 2025. That's what I mean, like,
What?
Tyson's reaction's so good. That's
Obviously,
insane.
you're notoriously known for getting kills on ropes and just
I mean,
jumping and
that's,
stuff. So like,
I mean, that no one tries. We got that from Carmine Corp in 2024. Tony brought it to the team. They won kickoff. And he's like, yo, guys, we should start jumping for each other, like, so that we don't get multi-fragged. And I'm like, yeah, let's start doing it. So I started doing it for everyone, because I'm usually the first guy entering. And then Dan, Matt, Sean can trade me. Right there, I just shocked because I was trying to mask the noise. I was like, let me mask the noise so they don't think like, I mean, maybe in case I mess it up, they still think I'm heaven or whatever. But he ends up peeking me, so I'm like holding it down, and the bullet just hits him. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then when I drop, the rope's already like, it's blocking my vision. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I use movement to reset my aim and everything. So then it ends up like landing on the head, and it's just crazy. Oh yeah.
Aggression.
Cow.
This is really fast. It's not just aggression.
I screamed, by the way, like, give me the ace.
An assault on all fronts. And again, it's a slaughter. He's gotten 4. The ace is stolen, but 100 Thieves get to 12.
you were like, oh, cow, like.
Yeah, Cal, that was my ace. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the ace, but like, it's nice. It was funny. I don't really care. Like, I just want to win. So, but it's like, I mean, if I got 4 like that, like you know, quick succession, let me get the ace. Obviously, 2025 is still being written. You know, obviously there's been highlights here and there, but you know, winning as a team is all I care about. And recently, we've lost to G2 in that heartbreaking Pearl game where we could have definitely won. And I feel like, you know, we were so close. We were saying going into the game against G2, like if we beat them, we will beat EG 100%. There's no way. So the way we looked at that G2 game was like, this is a spot to Toronto. And you can look at it as a spot to Paris in the end, because like you'll have chance points, everything. Like you'll be like so far ahead. You know, we end up choking again, like 11-7, 11-6. And just so, I guess, demoralizing. Yeah, hoping to make new memories for 2025, and hopefully my best moments for 2025 are yet to come. I think I've learned a lot over my 5 years of playing Valorant, especially, you know, working in a professional environment and being with a team and showing up every single day, trying to give it your all. I think I learned what makes a good team, and most importantly, a good person. When you first start off as a 16-year-old, it's like you're starting pretty much at rock bottom. you can grow so much, especially if you're 16, 17, 18, even if you're older. Honestly, I think everyone has a lot to improve. You know, the first year of my career, I think I did a bad job of like being involved in the team like as much. Obviously, I was a little out of place being a 17-year-old with, you know, 4 really experienced old players. I'll be blunt. Yeah, it's just like a little out of place. But ever since then, I feel like I've always tried my best to make sure everyone's like feels loved and feels included and feels like they matter, and that their voice is being heard in some way, because, you know, it's the most important thing in a team environment. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed me going down memory lane, it's been a long 5 years, and I'm grateful for everyone who's still supporting me. And thank you for everything, the org, the fans, the experience, and Valorant itself. Honestly, it's been an insane experience, and still only being 21, I can hopefully play for another 5 years and make a 10-year documentary. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you so much.